Good afternoon, everyone. I am Cristel Herrera, and I'm 23 years old, and I'm representing España, Manila.
I just want to follow my dreams. It's one of my dreams because I'm a singer professionally. But then I wanted to follow my dreams. It's like my dream to become a model someday. But then I went to a different path. So I just wanted to, conquer my fear of walking and speaking and to be in front of a lot of people without singing. Well, I've been preparing, like I am reviewing some old old news about Manila, and it's like I've been dieting, of course. First, I do eggs, one egg before I sleep, and right in the morning, and I don't do coffees. I just drink turmeric tea, and then lots of water and green salads. Actually, I don't have a trainer. I also don't have agents, so it's really all by myself. But we, all of us girls, had lots of trainings na. So what we've learned from that training is ina-apply na lang namin. I don't want to be remembered as the beauty or just the face. I want to be remembered of what I did. What will I do?
Well, I think I'm more prepared this time and I'm more mature. I'm older, and I think that when you join pageants, you really have to know who you are in order to represent the Philippines, because nobody wants a representative that doesn't know who she is, who isn't true to herself. And I think the older you are, the more mature you are, the more able you are to do that. But the preparations are very, very difficult and much more intense, I think, than a lot of people perceive, because girls prepare for it months before. So for example, in terms of physical fitness, you do have to go to the gym every day, you have to eat healthy. Some girls also need to gain. If they have to gain, they have to gain. And of course, you also want to present yourself intelligently and in a good manner. And no matter how smart you are, no matter how witty you are, it takes, I think, a special skill to be able to answer a specific question with no time to prepare and in 15 seconds.
Miss Manila 2017 is presented by the City of Manila.
Cristel Herrera and Laura Lehman are both 23 years old. Like many young Filipinas, both women dream of becoming beauty queens. Cristel competes for the Miss Manila crown and Laura for Miss World Philippines. Beauty pageants in the Philippines are a national obsession. Every year, Filipinos gather and cheer for the Philippine candidate in major international pageants, following her journey from local contests to the world stage. Historians date beauty contests in the Philippines to as far back as Spanish colonization, when the Santa Cruzan was introduced, along with the parading of the Reina Elena, the most prominent woman in town. It was further stamped into Philippine consciousness during the American colonization, when carnival queens were introduced. In post-colonial Philippines, Filipinos began to boast about producing the most beautiful woman in the world after Gloria Diaz won Miss Universe in 1969, the first major crown for the Philippines. It has since become a source of pride in a country riddled with poverty, with Philippine vets winning Miss Universe thrice, Miss World once, and Miss International 6 times. Pageants are so embedded in the culture that there are pageants for children, LGBT communities, overseas workers. Beauty contests are sponsored by politicians in barangays or villages across the country. In Manila, the country's capital, former Philippine President and current city mayor Joseph Ejercito Estrada, better known as ERAP, is hosting Miss Manila to celebrate his city's 446th anniversary.
This will be the 4th time that we are holding this prestigious beauty pageant. Inuhay natin ang Miss Manila bilang simbolo ng balik na ganda at sigla ng Maynila.
The winner of Miss Manila takes home 500,000 pesos, a hefty amount. Estrada himself admits he donated money to the cash prize, but didn't say how much. It's an expensive show to put together.
Last batch of girls starting.
The girls said they'd be preparing for the next few days, dieting, exercise, walking practice, Q&A. It's a lot of work until coronation night.
Glenn Ayla Krishnan.
But who actually benefits from the pageant? The woman joining the competition? The audience who gets to watch the woman strut on stage? Or the organizers, in this case, the president mayor?
We would like to invite the ladies to have a photo op with our President Mayor.
I must admit that this must be one of the most enjoyable benefits of being mayor. Lagi ko dinadala ng mga magagandang Pilipinas. Mawawala pa niya ang problema.
Like many pageant organizers, Estrada did not find anything wrong with beauty pageants, a surefire way to draw a crowd.
Well, that's the tradition of Manila. Kasi once upon a time, way back in 1931 pa, my mother was one of them.
Like the former president, many Filipinos, especially men, think it's an achievement for women to join beauty pageants. This kind of thinking I saw firsthand.
Oh, pwede Miss Manila.
Hindi po reporter po.
Our Miss World Philippines 2017 candidate number 15.
For Laura Lehman, the second pageant was the charm. After winning first runner-up in Binibining Pilipinas the first time she ever joined a pageant in 2014, Laura decided to join Miss World Philippines 3 years later. This time, she bagged the crown. The difference between finishing as a runner-up and getting a crown was hours and hours of training to walk, speak, and dress. But perhaps one of the biggest game changers is this man, Jonas Gafud.
Bitiyo mo, hindi ganito ha, hindi ganyan. Ganun lang.
Gafud is credited as the person behind the success of numerous international beauty queens from the Philippines. The most sought-after trainer in the Philippine pageant industry, Gafud has been helping propel Filipinas to the world stage for 18 years. Watching their training, the specific techniques, the tiny details in the walk, the makeup, the hair, the clothes, I realize the hard work and dedication these girls pour into competition and pageantry. It's clearly not an easy feat. Today, Gafud runs a modeling agency. Training beauty queens through his group Aces and Queens is something he does on the side with a volunteer team, all for the love of country. He is the first to admit that it's not for everyone, even with a lot of hard work.
Destiny, you have one Miss Universe in 1 year. You have one Miss World in 1 year, one Miss International in 1 year. In the history you have of Miss Universe, you have how many Miss Universes since 1952? It's destiny, ikaw lang yun.
Gafud doesn't mince words. In pageants, there are standards, an ideal height and weight, and of course, a beautiful face. But even that's not enough. Gafud and pageant defenders, including beauty queens themselves, insist physical attributes do not make a beauty queen. It's about impact to effect change, using the power their beauty gives them for good.
In the world of beauty pageants, you have to be physically beautiful. Kahit papaano, meron dapat standard na maganda ang hulma ng mukha. Like magandang ngiti, magandang ilong, magandang mata, maganda ang pagkakaayos ng hair. So, everything. But, you know, in totality, itong ganito, like, ang daming maganda na sumasali ng beauty pageants. Pero, what's very important is the aura. Yun yung aura na galing sa loob. Nagra-radiate, nagsha-shine. Yun yung aura. Kung modeling ay X factor, aura for the beauty queen.
He also dismisses the criticism that pageants are a backward practice meant to objectify women.
I don't think it's harmful. For me, as long as me, for example, me, I'm not an organizer, but I just train girls. But at the end of the day, we talk to them one-on-one and we tell them that they should be, when they win, they should use that crown to do something good for humanity.
Should we not celebrate pageants which give women power in this male-dominated world? After all, pageants cut across classes. Rich or poor, from the city or the province, if you fit the standards, you have a chance to be an influential woman. Supporters say joining a pageant is a woman's choice. They say a woman has every right to flaunt the beauty and the body she is blessed with. So shouldn't feminists who demand that women be given the right to make their own choices celebrate these women's decisions?
Exactly.
Laura, who was studying neuroscience psychology before she was drawn to pageantry, insists that critics are focused on the wrong things.
I think I was victim to the stereotype as well. When you don't know pageants, a lot of people think that it's just an objectification of women. It's all about beauty and about parading your looks and pura ganda lang. But what's nice about it is when I entered into the world of pageants, I saw what it was really like. And you really realize that it's prestigious because at the end of the day, you're representing your country and nobody can condemn that no matter what arena you're in because you're carrying the Filipino flag. And when you win, of course, you bring pride to your country, just like what Megan Young did, Pia Wurtzbach did.
Laura did not bag the Miss World crown, but she vows to continue her advocacies, like providing a milk bank for the pediatric ward of a hospital in Manila. Gafud says for him, beauty queens are greater than the sum of their parts, at least the ones he takes under his wing.
For me, there's deeper meaning into it. I really wanted beauty queens who can be, who can effect change. Someone who can someone who can broaden their sphere of influence and be able to talk to people, be able to influence people.
Cristal Herrera, 23, España!
It's Miss Manila pageant night. Cristal is candidate number 30, the last of the lot. The pageant opening number is like a scene out of a noontime show.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And then the swimsuit competition. Scenes like this make some people feel uncomfortable. The men ogle the half-naked woman on stage. Judges score the women based on their bodies. Women may have come far in 2017, but they still parade atop a stage under intense lights for a chance to be named the most beautiful of them all. Dr. Mina Rosas, a professor at the University of New South Wales, studies the history of women in the Philippines. Asked why she thinks beauty pageants are such a national obsession, Rosas says it is linked to Philippine culture.
What makes the Philippines unique, let's say, with the West is that in the case, there's a connection between beauty and power only for the female, not for the men. For the men, it's virility and power that's connected. American beauty queens cannot translate their beauty title into power as Filipinos can.
Rosas also points out that in the Philippines, there is a lot of pressure to be beautiful compared to other countries.
People get prestige from having a beauty title, and every Filipina wants to be known to be beautiful because it means she's virtuous and she's powerful. And of course, since the definition of woman is wife and mother, you need to be beautiful to get a husband. So I think I can't resist saying that the standards for female beauty in the Philippines are so high that if your husband fools around, it's your fault because you're not beautiful enough.
But Rosas also warns that this fixation on pageants and young Filipino girls dreaming to become beauty queens is not necessarily a good thing.
So what's harmful is that it fits a certain scheme. And for beauty contests here, I understand you have to be 5'9" or something, which would eliminate most people. So that's what's harmful about it. The fact that there's got to be a stereotype that's unrealistic for many people, and if it becomes prescriptive, like you would feel less of a fulfilled person if you don't fit the ideal, then that would be harmful.
In the Philippines, these harmful effects of beauty pageants are barely discussed. Critics say pageants are sexist. At its core, they objectify women, nothing more than an excuse to ogle scantily clad females. It perpetuates a system that judges women solely on their looks, on unrealistic standards of beauty that are impossible for many to achieve. Then there's the pitting of women against each other to outdo each other in strut, in style, and in substance, at least based on a 30-second answer. If we really cared about what these women have to say, wouldn't a Q&A be the most important part? And what do swimsuits have to do with it? In pageants, women are judged on what society dictates to be the ideal woman. Curvy but not too sexy, confident but not intimidating, outspoken but not controversial. with a walk and hair and makeup that must be a certain way. And then there's the toll it takes on women who fall short.
Candidate number 30, Cristel Herrera.
Later, Cristel comes out in a radiant red gown. As the pageant goes on, special prizes like Best in Swimsuit, Best Talent, or Best in Gown are announced. Cristel wins nothing so far. And then the announcement of the top 15.
Ladies and gentlemen, the top 15 of Miss Manila 2017.
The night ends early for Cristel.
So the pageant just ended and I'm here backstage. The winners are taking photos, speaking to fans, but those who didn't quite make it are out back getting ready to go home. We're waiting for Cristel to come out and we'll speak to her, talk to her about her experience.
You know, I feel happy because it's done. But at the same time, I feel sad because I wasn't able to get to the top 15. Maybe I just cried a little bit kanina because I saw my mom because my mom is sick. Well, at first, you know, I guess it's normal for you to get upset, but it's life, you know. You have to struggle first before you get to the top.
Tonight, it's difficult for her to see how beautiful she is without a crown on top of her head.
What's certain is beauty pageants will not be going anywhere anytime soon. Given the interest and attention Filipinos give to pageants, it will continue to be a source of entertainment for years to come. But it's also high time for Filipinos to look beyond the glitz and glamour and ask, are pageants sexist or a celebration of femininity? Natasha Gutierrez, Rappler, Manila.